Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a new video, a special video. It's currently Saturday, the 27th of December, 15 minutes past 9, and I would love to record the yearly recap of 2025 with you. Um, yeah, in this video, I would love to start really quickly by summarizing the year on how I currently look back at it with retrospect um, to um, yeah to after that summarize it structurally month by month. Um, and after this, I will also record a quick clip for the quarterly recap. But with that being said, let's just dive straight into it. Um, yeah, I think to summarize it, it was quite a tough year in a way that I think I learned a lot of lessons, but I think I learned a lot of lessons the hard way. Um, I think it's fair to say that even though like, I want to put that first, that I feel really blessed and I'm grateful for the situation that I'm in. I think quite some decisions were pretty unlucky, which is also due to a lack of experience, but also um, at least unlucky in the short term. So, as far as right now, they didn't get paid out, um, which could change too. But as of right now, I think I have been in the field a lot during the past year, um, putting in the work and getting things done and learning things on the way while doing them and learning them the hard way, essentially. And yeah, I'm grateful for those lessons. And no matter where it will bring me directly when it comes to business, yeah, thinking in terms of revenue and results that we will be generating, it definitely made me a stronger person, which essentially is the most important for me. So yeah, with that being said, I think I'm really happy with this last year. I felt aligned most of the year, um, and yeah. With that being said, I would love to run you through how the year has been month by month. So, a quick intro before running into the year is yeah, before the year started, I founded the company that we are working on till this date. Um, I was working on it with my brother, I was working with him. I dragged him in the business basically at the end of 2024. And that was also when I came back from Australia after a trip to Bali, an event that I had there, and the health and Ironman that I completed in Australia. They just came back from that in December 2024, and that was about how I started the year in 2025. So, with that being said, let's dive straight into January. So, January, I think actually the year started with the New Year's Eve party that we had in Amsterdam, just as a at a place of a couple of friends of mine from high school. And it actually started with me and another friend of mine, and decided that we it was a great idea to run back from that place where we had the party at 5 a.m. back to our place. Like, we live in a small village close to Amsterdam, which was like a 25-kilometer run. Um, During the night, I think it was like 2.5 hours or something like that. It took us from 5 a.m. to like 7:30 in the morning. It was a crazy idea to say the least, but it was a great way to start the year. And after that, January was also the month that we moved into the office, the place that we are at right now. We were looking for that place for quite some time, and we were really lucky that we found that place. It was yeah, a true coincidence that we found the place, and how we actually moved in. And yeah, till this day, I'm really grateful for the place that we have there. I spent a lot of hours there this year, at the office, and the storage that we have. And yeah, it was a really great move. Still, it is a really great place to be, considering the fact that till then we were doing it from my mom's home, from my mom's house, where we had to pack and do everything ourselves, as well as simply we were not able to do that much volume due to a lack of space, but more even due to a lack of capacity of people. Because yeah, of course, like we cannot let people work at my mom's house, literally in the living room. So that was also when we started hiring. I went to my high school and literally pitched the idea that we have at a class. I messaged an old teacher of me and asked him whether I could pitch the idea that we have, to ask whether there would be like high school students to work for us. And yeah, we hired the first people and moved into the office, and that was also where it really started to lock in, put in a lot of work, working on the operations, working on the machine like I did throughout the whole of the year. And that's really where it started, and also really, and where we really saw the vision that we have put into practice. You make it physical, you make it tangible by moving into a place like that. Yeah, that really emphasized what we were planning to do with way more structure, and yeah, really trying to build something. And that was, I think, envisioned with that move. Then moving into February was the month that I stopped with football. It Yeah, it was just a photo that I saw when scrolling through my gallery, actually, of when I was preparing this video. I thought a photo that in January I was still playing, and it's kind of strange to realize, because it feels like such a long time ago, but it's not even that long ago that I was still playing. It was a really great decision, actually. It was also an end of an era for me, an end of a chapter. Um, yeah, I really needed the time to work on myself. I didn't miss it, definitely I didn't. Maybe I will play again one day for a year or so, um, when I feel like it. But for now, it was definitely the right decision. I'm really happy that I took that. And besides that, it was again a lot of work in February. In March, I took a trip to Germany, went skiing with my mom and my brother, and also with a friend of mine and my dad. We were to a football match in Germany. Um, I also remember that these months were really tough. Um, Looking at the relation that I had with my brother, these were the earlier months of our of the two of us working together, and we came like from a brotherhood with a lot of competition. And I had difficulties with that when we had to actually work together in the business. I was focusing a lot on myself, and I think the ego was in the way of seeing the bigger picture. And we had a lot of tough conversations. We were not aligned. I was not enough focused on the greater good. And yeah, that was a tough period for me and for my mom, and for us. I really well remember that, and that's also one of the greatest gains of this year, that no matter what happens, me and my brother will be keeping working together. Yeah, till the end of times, to say so. Or yeah, at least till we don't feel it anymore. But I don't see that happening. Yeah, really soon. Or actually, I don't really see that happening right now. Since right now we know what our qualities are, and how to how the both of us work and like to work, and that's working really great right now. And even though we don't even communicate that much, it works, and I'm really grateful for that, actually. Um, but I can remember that in March that was still pretty tough. So yeah, looking into or transitioning into April, I looked through the gallery and I tried to remember what happened actually during April, but it was one of the months that it was just working. No specific events. They were occurring during April. Um, yeah, it was just a lot of work trying to put in the systems, building the machine, like I just mentioned, and nothing else besides that. May In May, I made a small trip to Malaga on my own after months of working. I really need those trips to be able to um, yeah take a step back, take a broader view, gain new perspectives, and also yeah I really um, charge my battery when I'm alone actually. So yeah, those kind of trips by myself, I can really charge the battery again and enjoy that. That's really like vacation for me. So I really like that. That small trip to Malaga for a couple of days. I turned 21 in May, and May was also the month that they just saw a picture, and also remember the day that my sister actually signed her first contract, which is also really great memory for me. June was the month that I went on vacation with my mom. We went to Mexico. A really great vacation, to be honest. Yeah, doing that with the family. Great memories and beyond grateful for that. It was difficult with work though. I feel that um, with especially during those hectic times, because it was a really hectic period, a really hectic, yeah, it has been quite hectic throughout actually all the year. And then it was difficult for me to not work, since when you know you don't have your shit together and then taking vacation, that was quite difficult, to be honest. And I was also something I learned that during those periods it doesn't really make that much sense. Like talking about the trip that I made to Malaga, it was just a couple days, and these were really like 2 weeks that I was out, which also did actually quite some damage to the business. Since yeah, simply things were not how they were supposed to be. So yeah, that was kind of difficult on that trip, but besides that, great memories. July, it was my like my birthday party, to say so. It was a memorable party with my friends, a special moment, special conversations, a special memory for me, special day. Um, Besides that, July was also the month in which I had a trip with the boys. Um, it was yeah the start of Q3, which was the most turbulent quarter, definitely. Um, that trip with the boys was, I think, really how vacation is supposed to be, or how I see it right now. I really enjoyed that. I really did. It was a really aligned vacation. Yeah, we were traveling through Europe together, um, moved to different cities, and I really enjoyed that. After which, I also had a couple days off with a girl that I met. Together, we spent some days in Milan too, which was great. Yeah, July, I really have great memories on the the weeks that we spent there. Then August, it was back and forth to Rome, for a couple days off, and besides that, it was just work. It was again, I was really locked in after the trip with the boys. I knew what we had to do, um, and it was a period of yeah, really like 80 hour work weeks, um, where I was deliberately focused on the things that had to be done. We were aware back then of the mistakes that we made in the earlier parts of the year, um, and yeah, really getting that shit together and making sure that the machine is working, since it wasn't. Um, that's been again like a lot of mistakes being made throughout the year, and yeah, I was back then trying to get all of that together, which required a lot of effort, So that was like kind of what August was like. Also September actually. But still, I made a really great trip back and forth to Rome, which also has a great was a great memory for me truly. Um, and yeah, I also made a song with my friends. We did a studio session in which we recorded two songs, which also is a really great core memory for me, to be honest. Um, really like emotional song and more a song of our previous period, like a mere chill vibe. So yeah, also a great memory for that month. Talking about August 2025. I think September it was about the peak hard work. Um, I was slowly getting things together. The results started to switch, moving into October, um, and yeah, the hard work that we were putting in was finally about to be paid off. Um, I moved a great friend of mine into the company, which also really helped to get things off my plate. I think my plate was full. It was really full, and even though I was really hungry. Still, yeah, I was barely able to finish my plate, and doing that each and every day was kind of tough. Um, but still, September was just a lot of hard work and finally getting things on track. That's how I would summarize September. Moving into October, Q4, I ran a marathon with my mom. It was a present which I gave her in November 2024, actually. Great memory again. I think I did a great job with regards to the finishing time that I had, but that's not that important actually. Um, Doing that together was also again a great memory. And besides that, October, yeah, was really the month that the hard work was paying off and that the results were slowly coming in. Moving into November, in which I really got the realization for the merge that we are planning to do right now. That we are, I don't want to dive into too much detail as of right now, but yeah, really realized where we wanted to go with regards to the future of the company, um, which was a really impactful realization. It was also difficult to realize, um, but it was, I think, a realization of the truth, realizing how the situation is and what the best decision is considering our situation. And yeah, that was really something that got to me in November and really dialed in December. And yeah, I actually also concluded November with personal small trip to Brussels. It was literally one night, but that was a great trip too for me personally. I had been there in 2023 and 2024, and I really like the city, so uh, it was great to go there too. And with that being said, we are moving into the last month of the year, December. It was the month in which I sent the mail out. It was the 2nd of December that I did, so I realized. Um, and talking about the merge that we realize and the plans that we have there. Um, and it was also that moment that again, like the realization on how where we wanted to go with the company and the decision was made during this month, um, which also, yeah, forced me to take a step back. I think that's the right way to say it. Take a step back of the work. Yeah, taking days off from the office, since simply there's not like that much work that I'm supposed to be focusing on as of right now, work in the business. So yeah, it really forced me to take a step back and realize where what the next moves will be. planning out for the future. And besides that, I started to focus again a lot on exercising. I planned a new event that I will be doing at the end of March 2026. Yeah, again, started to focus a bit more on personal development. And besides that, just thinking on what the next move will be. So with that being said, we wrapped up the year. It's been a special year. As I said, I think it's summarized the best when I say that it was a tough year due to the lessons that I learned, the lessons that I had to learn in the field, the hard way, but it really made me a better person. It learned me the lessons that I had to learn and that I will take along in the upcoming year, but honestly for the rest of my life. And I think that these type of years are crucial for the person I want to be, and also for the growth that I will be making in the upcoming years. I think a couple of years like this, and we will really be able to reset a solid foundation for external growth, external results. For since of course that's also what you would like to see coming, but I know that that's coming. That's that's not something I'm hesitant of, but I think these years are a crucial base layer to then build upon, which is also the way I want it to be. It was a year, as I said, where I felt a lot of alignment a lot of the time, since I really felt what to do. I really had the clear vision in mind. It hasn't been this clear with the company Revive that we were building, and that I had the excitement, I had the challenge that I missed for some time, and I'm really grateful for that actually. For having that clarity on where we want to go, even though right now I'm a bit more on a search, thinking, and a bit more hesitant on what the next moves will be. I have felt a lot of alignment throughout the year, which is really great to feel. But also the phase that I'm in right now is part of life. And with that being said, I would love to wrap up the video. A special year as always, I think. During my 20s, it was my first year in my 20s, to say so. There are a lot of great years to come, and I would love, as always, to take you guys along this journey. Record this path of life, my path of life. Then I will take you guys along in the next part of this video. And with that being said, I will wrap up the video and see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao.